Hi, Aces up here. Hopefully you've checked out these lead up quick tip videos and now know how to calculate stack size. But we can't just look at our own stack. We have to observe the other players at the table and know their stacks, especially when involved in a hand. We have to know our opponent's stack size.
Since if I have an M of 10, but my opponent has an M of 3, there's no use in me thinking I can use a strategy I normally would at M10. For example, take a look at this situation here if it folds around to the blinds. If the player in the BB had a similar stack size, post-flop they might get in some raising wars. There could be bluffing going on. Basically, with a lot of chips, there is room to play a lot of poker, especially on the later streets. Kinda somewhat difficult here though, right? So the small blind plays the hand like he has 200 also, and simply moves all in with a lot of hands. The big blind's response, with half his stack committed, should be to call here with any two cards, since he'll be getting the right odds to call, and odds will be coming up in the next few lessons. So this is kind of an extreme example, but all the way in between from having a big stack down to a small stack, you'll constantly have to be adjusting your strategy to play optimally. With a bigger stack, hands like small pairs and suited connectors become more valuable. If you think about it, these types of hands don't flop big very often. So when they do, you want to have an opponent in the pot with you with a lot of chips, so you can get paid off. If the opponent had a short stack and you called with a hand like, say, 6-7 suited, you're making a huge mistake, since you will flop a big hand or big draw so infrequently. So most of the time you'll be folding when your opponent bets post-flop. However, the few times you do hit big, you'll only win a small amount anyway, since your opponent has a short stack. So basically you're losing your initial investment frequently, and the other times occasionally winning just a small amount. Doesn't sound very profitable, does it? But how do we know where we can call in these situations? How deep do we need to be?
That's a quick look at effective stack size and how the strategy we use might change depending on the other stacks at the table. You've just learnt some key tournament strategy. And it wasn't that hard, was it? In fact, most tournament strategy isn't overly complex. You just need the right information presented so it's easy to understand. After all, poker isn't a subject in school, and a lot of information out there can be misleading or made overly complex. If you're interested in learning winning tournament strategy, come and join me at PokerNerve.com and make sure you check out the tournament course.